Top 5 horror villains. Oh, wow, Um,
Trent, how's it going? How's it going, dude?
Good, going good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. It's nice to see you again. So thank you for coming back on. We've been
Yeah,
planning this for a while now. So
yeah. Thanks for having me back on, man. I've been looking forward to it and was really wanting to have a lot of cool stuff to talk about this time, and which I did last time. But glad
yeah,
you're the first one I get to actually really talk to.
no, it's all good, man. Like you've had a busy year last year, really.
Yeah, so busy, and
Yeah,
I'm still trying to put all the pieces of everything that happened together and all the cool stuff and memories. A lot of them.
yeah, awesome, awesome. So dude, like you played drums on the Better Than You single, dude. Congrats on that, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. That was a really, really good time um, putting that together with Ryan Roxie, and it was kind of a spur of the moment type thing, which was just out of the blue about last winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was last winter when he approached me about doing it, and I had just got some microphones and stuff for recording. So yeah, he hit me up once he figured out I had all that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. So like he was like you're like the first drummer that he reached out to, or was there other
It,
drummers
it,
that he
it
wanted it
seems
on?
like it because we kind of I kind of hit him up and we had hung out a couple times and I kept hinting at him like, hey, you need somebody to do anything with you, and it seemed like he had me in mind when he was putting together some demo work and stuff, and he was just sending me the ideas and stuff, and so it kind of seemed like he had me in mind with the kind of style and the heavy groove that goes on in this song.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I could definitely hear a lot more of that 70s rock vibe in that song, dude. Very
Oh
catchy
yeah,
too.
that's what I picked up on when he initially sent it to me, and just kind of rolled with it when figuring out what I wanted to do on drums.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. And no, that's really good. I guess that would probably lead to other opportunities as well after that.
Yeah, there is actually another song that will be released at some point that I did with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that will be released soon.
I'm not too sure when. I'm assuming it just all depends on his time with Alice and what he has worked out. I know he has a plan to do different various singles. I don't know
Yeah.
if he wants me on those or if he already has those recorded or with other guys, but looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing it all.
No, that's awesome, dude. Well, hopefully we get to hear you play more drums with his with his stuff
Oh
with
yeah,
more songs
I
to
think
come.
I think everybody will. You know, me and Ryan hit it off, and the reception for everything with Better Than You has been fantastic. Everybody's loving it. It's getting a lot of views on the video and plays, and just everyone. I'm really glad everyone dug it.
Yeah, I did as well. And it's been so long since he actually released any new music.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think he did a couple things during the pandemic, but yeah, this is his first, like, I think, legitimate release that he's done for a while.
Yeah. I think with his last album that he did, Imagine Your Reality, that came out, I think, during COVID as well.
Yeah, I think
He
that's the
was
one.
just like, yeah, I think he was just like releasing just singles, and he was like releasing every video clip for each song leading
Yeah,
up to the album. I thought that was pretty cool.
I think that's kind of what he's planning on doing with this. I don't know if he wants to turn it into an album, but yeah, there's kind of
Yeah.
doing the singles and stuff layered up. Especially, I think with the time allotted, being in Alice Cooper, because with even being in Beasto Blanco, it's like a lot of time gets taken up with Alice, and so they got to really jump on those opportunities of
Yeah,
time.
that's true. That's true. It seems like a lot of artists these days now are just releasing singles.
Yeah, I noticed that more and more these days, or doing albums that aren't as lengthy. I noticed a lot too. Like the new Ghost album is only like 10 songs, and a lot of bands on that scale used to put out albums that had like 13 to 15 songs and bonus tracks and stuff. So it seems like
Yeah.
it's either less and less or an EP or just singles these days. I think primarily one, it probably saves money. And
Yeah.
two, it's like the attention span. There's so much out there on Spotify and YouTube and everything that to kind of reel it in with like a couple real good songs that'll get more plays, more views, and really put the ears out there for people to kind of grasp onto a new song.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Daniel Graves from Aesthetic Perfection. I had him on like a year ago or so, and he was saying that he preferred to release singles in a full length album because he thinks that when people listen to albums, there's probably like one or two songs that they would listen to, and that's it off that album.
Yeah, I kind of find, I think a lot more with the audiences that are into more of a variety of things, like they like pop, hip hop, rock, metal, and stuff. They tend to be more so, I think, the ones that'll just be like, I only like these two songs. But I do, at the same time, feel like it's starting to get back to people wanting, at least genre based. Like if you're a hardcore rock guy, they're wanting those albums that are full length. So I think that's why it's like kind of a give or take on like the singles or whole albums, because like I said, the attention span of people is just so like that. They'll
Yeah.
like a song, listen to it 100 times, and then move on to the next.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a bit like that sometimes. It depends on what mood that I am in, or like if there's like any groove in like after the first song in the album and stuff like that. But like I probably listen to Ghost's new album so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
It's
I've had that
different,
on
and that's what I
repeat.
love about it.
I've had the new Ghost album on repeat like for the since it came out. So, and I think that and then Better Than You probably listened to like a gazillion times. And because
Yeah.
I didn't even get to I didn't even have the song. They forgot to send it to me. So I just kind of was like, I'm going to wait and enjoy it with everybody else, because we, me and the people that worked on the song, did a all access for Ryan Roxie's private fan club. Did a live stream of the video for us all.
Oh
So
yeah, I saw that.
I got to hear it for the first time, because I had only heard the demos of what I recorded, which were very, very scratch,
Yeah.
stuff, and they made it sound like went to 11.
Yeah. Um yeah, I did see that, and I did see your little pop-up interview that you did with them on YouTube that he premiered as well.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. That was about this time last week, and
Yeah.
uh, uh, I just got off work just like I did now. And I was like, Ryan's texting, being like, "Hey man, I'm gonna hop on the All Access channel. You gonna be ready?" I was like, "Okay," and just comb my hair and stuff, and look good after work, and hopped right in there.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's
yeah, yeah. During the pandemic, man, I used to watch a lot of his live streams.
same. And the in the
Yeah,
trenches. I loved watching his in the trenches interviews, and I know he plans on doing them again. And you can't. I might end up going on that at some point.
yeah. Dude, fingers crossed, man. Like, hopefully he will see this interview and be like, I'm gonna have Trent on too. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He it seems like right now with Ryan and Chuck and Tommy and Alice, and they're all kind of competing on which one of them found me.
Yeah, I think it would have to be Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck's the other guys I was talking to, and I actually recorded the drums for Ryan before the Chuck Beasto thing, but Beasto's the one that snatched me up like pretty quick.
Yeah. And how long have you been with Beasto Blanco now?
It was about, I want to say it was like last March when we started talking, and then I think it was about, I actually think it was this time last year. Me and my wife were on a trip, and Chuck called me while we were on the trip. Yeah, because we had just done May the 4th, Revenge of the Fifth at Disney World for Star Wars stuff, and that's when Chuck had just like called me. So yeah, it was like this time last year, and told me what was planning on doing, because the guy that was originally supposed to do the Beasto run was the dude that's now in Filter, but his schedule got booked up, and yeah, so just did that, and then bam, I'm on the road in September.
Nah, it's awesome, man. Like I kind of feel like it's been about a year now for you, correct?
Yeah, yep.
Fuck, man, that's wild.
Right. Kind of went like that.
Like, yeah, I like this whole year's gone like that too. Like it's crazy. I find that when you get older, the year goes quicker.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, man. Tell us about your first time touring overseas.
Oh
And how
gosh,
was that experience like?
that was I it was fair, for the most part it was like similar to touring in the States, just being in a world that is just so, I don't speak any German or Austrian or any of that stuff, so that the language barrier I was really worried about. But out there they actually teach English to people, so they know more of what the Americans know than Americans. That's just our education system. But so when I figured out that I didn't have to be so nervous with that helped me a lot to feel comfortable. But all in all, like, it felt like, I don't know, I don't want to say I was just a natural at it, but I picked it up pretty quick. Even doing the what was it, like 14, 15-hour, 16-hour flight overseas that I was nervous about. But yeah, I handled that. And when I got to Germany, and met up with Chuck and the rest of the band, they're like, "Oh, we got to make sure you don't get the sleep problems and stuff." So they made me stay up even later, and had to just go right into doing we had to go right into doing just a little rehearsal in the our hotel rooms and stuff. So we're just in the hotel room. I'm just hitting my lap, and they're playing guitars and stuff. So that kept us up till like 2 a.m, and then wake up the next morning, load the gear into a big cargo van. And our first show was at a little club, a little bar, and that was kind of like our like dress rehearsal basically. So we just got right into it. They threw me right into it. And I do have a
that was like,
what was that?
Oh no, I was gonna say the first show that you did was Halloween, correct?
Yeah, it was Halloween, and we definitely looked like we were dressed up for Halloween. And I guess Halloween isn't quite as big out there, but there's a few people that dressed up and had some makeup on and stuff. So that was really cool. And it was really neat to just start off with a tiny show. You could reach and touch everybody, and we had some technical difficulties we got through and stuff, being our kind of dress rehearsal show. But the audience was awesome, and they dug me, which was cool. And There a lot of stuff happened in that little bitty show. I got hit in the head by one of Calico's props. Like I said, took some had a little bit of technical difficulties. I had to play really, really, really soft because the venue was really small and they had noise ordinances. So I had to kind of like back off and tape everything up,
Oh
and
no.
they put a
Yeah.
towel over the snare drum, and even then I was still almost too loud. That was funny, and
It's way how
there
you
was
get,
that.
bro.
It was funny because at the end of the show, like I'm tearing down the equipment, and they just did the VIP stuff, and this dude runs up to me, and it was a guy that took a train like 45 minutes an hour away, who was a
Yeah.
fan of my old band when I was like in my teens and early 20s from like 15 years ago. And I was like, "What?" And he had all a bunch of my stuff on his
Oh
phone
wow.
of stuff I released like when I was like 16,
Yeah.
17. I was like, "What?" That was crazy. So it's like the internet, man. That you can reach out anywhere.
So you had a fan overseas that you didn't know about.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even realize it. Yeah. So that was really cool. And yeah, now I have a decent little fan base all over.
No, that's good, man. No, I'm proud
Yeah.
of you for doing
I'm I'm
that,
s-
dude, man.
I'm stoked and excited to go back to Europe and get to meet some of the ones I met and meet some new ones. And hoping we can do that in the States here soon too again, or
Yeah.
Australia. I'd love to go. Still hoping for the Australia show.
Oh, dude, if I would love to see you guys. Yeah, from what I think I've seen like in the group chat that I'm in Messenger, I think it is. I think they're working on it.
Yeah, I know Chuck was working on that at one point, and it's like I said earlier, it all just depends on Alice. That dude
Yeah,
just does not stop.
yeah. Honestly, dude, I don't know how he does it for his age. Like, it makes me feel tired watching him.
Yeah,
Like,
it really does. Like when I got to kind of hang out with him and meet him at his house and stuff, and just sharp as ever. And just got up super early in the morning and was up late and came to the Beasto show, got on an airplane, flew to LA, did an event, and then came to that Beasto show. And I'm like, the dude's just nonstop. But that's all he's known since he was like a teenager. So.
yeah, yeah. What did you think of the new Alice song that came out
Oh,
recently?
I loved it. I was so excited to because when I saw Alice last year or met him when he was backstage with Beasto and at his house, and he was talking about like he'd really like to get together with the old band and stuff, and he did it. He just did it out of the blue. I guess a couple months ago they just went in the studio and did that, and me being a very diehard, uh, like the early Alice Cooper fan from the
Me too.
Love It to Death and the $1 Billion Babies, Muscle Love, up to that and stuff. And I'm very excited to hear it because it's been like 50 years, so super excited for that.
50
I wasn't
years, yeah.
I wasn't even close to
50.
being born.
Nah, nah. Not me either, man. But yeah, it was like 50 years or something like that. I know like a couple of years ago, he played with the original lineup for a couple of songs. And I think Ryan Roxie was playing rhythm guitar.
Yeah, they did a thing at a record shop. I know a few years ago, played some songs together. They recorded a couple one-offs on some of the Alice albums, but to have a full-length album, super stoked on that.
Yeah. And I think, and shit, what was the one after Welcome to My Nightmare 2? Is it Paranormal?
Yeah. After Welcome to My Nightmare was Paranormal.
Yeah. I think in one of the bonus tracks and two of the bonus tracks,
Yeah,
there's like two songs. His original band members recorded two songs on that album.
Yeah, they did 2 songs on that, and I know like throughout the years, like one of them might play on something or the other might play guitar, but um, yeah, this will be the first time a full album, and I kind of hope they do a tour or at least a few dates or something because I'd love to see that. And
I
then
think everybody would.
all right, and then if I can't see that, that means Alice is doing something, and then Beasto can go book some shows while he's doing that.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like the bass line to that intro of Black Mamba reminds me of like a little bit like Dead Babies.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dennis Dunaway, his bass lines are so unique and different because they run, but they they almost start the melody, and instead of like guitars and stuff, he plays bass a little bit like a guitar player, but still
Mm,
kind of locks in that low end rhythm,
yeah,
and that's why he's one of my favorite bass players. And I was super stoked that when uh, Ryan Roxie shared that Dennis did a quick little promo video on Instagram and Facebook promoting Better Than You. I was super stoked for that. I was like, one of the original Alice guys is telling you to watch the video and listen to the
that you
song
drummed on. Like that's
that
sick.
I drummed on. Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
I know he's heard me drum, so that was really cool.
Do you try not to fanboy out when like those things happen? Like, do you trying to keep cool and shit?
um, I think most of the time I'm pretty cool and stuff. You know, it's like on one hand, it's like I would love to be able to just fanboy out, but I've never been much of when I met people I really dig or my heroes and stuff. I don't think I've ever been like like oh boy oh
Yeah, yeah,
'cause even with
yeah.
Chuck, like when I met Chuck, it was pretty chill because the first time I actually literally like one on one got to meet Chuck was when I picked him up to come to my house.
Yeah.
And because like I only like met him kind of in passing when I got to do Alice Cooper stuff, or I met him in passing when me and my wife were kind of on our belated honeymoon during the pandemic on the Monsters of Rock that Beasto and Alice played. So I kind of ran into him a little bit, but didn't get to talk
Yeah.
to him. But yeah, when first time I met him, just like, hey, get in my car. This is weird.
Yeah, I try not to fanboy out with these like type of things, especially when I go to meet and greets as well. Um, I to me that just regular people doing their
Yeah,
job, doing what they
I think
love.
that's one of the cool things though about Chuck and Ryan and all those guys is they're pros for one, but
Yeah,
they're so just down to earth. They act like all of us, and because I've done there's a few times I've met people in the industry that were just I won't mention names, but they just were not pleasant to be around, and they were very rude. Or if somebody was fanboying them, they would
yeah,
just call them out and almost harass them. I was like, that's not cool. These are your fans, man. These, you know, uh, it's it's okay to kind of just push them aside. You don't have to be rude about it.
yeah. It's happened over the years, not to me, but like to other people and stuff and like that. But I remember going seeing Nita Strauss at a guitar clinic
Oh,
like
man.
maybe 5 years ago in Sydney, and this is I think this is like maybe it was after the bushfires and around when COVID almost happened, I think. And
Oh, yeah.
she remembered who I was.
Oh, that's cool.
Because yeah, I was in the front row and I was like the only one wearing a Beasto hat, and she pointed it out. And then when
Yeah.
we got to meet her after that, she goes, "Oh, you're the guy that I met at the Motley Crue show. Like, how's it been?" I'm like, yeah, good."
Yeah, she's the only one I haven't met yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still haven't met her. I'm gonna go see Alice with Judas Priest in October, the week before I leave for Europe. So hopefully I get to meet her then. I know she's very
Yeah.
elusive.
Nah, she's cool. She's really cool. Especially when I have guests on here too, man. I remember having Kaden from the band Hyrax. They're like really like legendary 80s thrash metal band.
Right on.
And they've been around like the Metallica and Testament era. And I remember I was doing research on this guy because he followed me on Instagram during the pandemic, and I didn't know who the fuck it was. So I followed him back, just like, "Hey, thanks for the follow." And when I started this podcast, I'm like, "I want to see if I can get this guy on." And then he said, he wants to do it. So I did my research on this guy, and all I read was 80s thrash metal icon. I'm like,
Oh boy. That's rad.
and shit like that. And he was so fucking cool, dude. Yeah. He was like telling me stories that he used to watch Metallica warming up before coming up on stage in the 80s.
Oh wow. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. What was another story? Oh, he told me it was like in the mid 80s. They played at some small club, I think in LA, and it was Anthrax, Megadeth, Exodus, Hyrax, and Testament,
Oh wow. That's a
or
lineup.
when it was called Legacy at the time.
That is a big lineup.
I know. I asked him, like, dude, will we see that again?
Right?
Yeah, dude. Like I said to him, I was like, are we ever going to see that again? And he goes, probably not. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, it seems like these days more and more though we're seeing a lot of these like really heavily intense lineup tours now. A lot of these legacy acts, they kind of know. I don't know if it's because they know they might be thinning out, but they're all like, Metallica has been taking Pantera on tour with them for what, like almost 2 years now,
Yeah.
and then
And
uh,
Limp
this,
Bizkit as well.
yeah, and this Alice Judas Priest one. Uh, Trying to think of some of the other tours. Like there's just a lot of just heavy big tours coming out and stuff.
Yeah, well, Caden told me that he was going on tour with Exodus for the 40th anniversary.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, because he's like really good friends with Gary Holt, and I'm a big fan of Gary Holt, and especially with his guitar playing as well. And his book is amazing. You gotta, if you ever get around to it, I'm pretty sure it's on. I've had the audio book on Spotify, so you could probably just like listen to it on Spotify.
Oh yeah,
But
I do that occasionally.
yeah, awesome book. But yeah, like he was telling me that he was going on tour with Exodus for the 40th anniversary for Bonded by Blood. And I'm like, dude, that's rad as shit. And I look at the supporting lineup, and it was like some local band and Death Angel. And I'm like, God damn it. Bring this to Australia.
uh,
Like,
right now it's hard to tell what some of the tours are going to be like with a lot of the, I guess, political environments going on. Some of the European bands can't get here. Some of the American bands can't get there. It's a weird thing going on right now. And even if the bands come, then they can't get their crews and stuff. But luckily, as far as I know, there's nothing that's going to affect Beasto.
no, they'll do the will and power to get to
Yeah,
the destination and stuff like that. But I'm predicting a 2026 Australian Beasto tour. That's what I'm predicting.
yeah, I'm predicting that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. Last time I talked to Chuck, he said there was some big stuff in the works for next year. Um, so yeah, well, I'll be looking forward to hearing about that, and I know
Yeah.
everybody else will too.
Oh, hell yeah. So you're going to be touring over in Europe in November?
Yeah, it'll be November. I think the first date's like November 2nd or something, and it'll be for 3 weeks. And I think we're kind of hitting the same route in a sense that we did last year, that we did with the Dead Daisies. I think it's a similar route. Like we play, Germany, the Netherlands, um, Paris, play somewhere else in France.
Yeah.
We ended Frankfurt, um, and now that I know a little bit how it works out there, I can actually maybe hopefully get to go off the tour bus and walk around and see some things. Is um, Last time I was kind of like really focusing on just being where I needed to be, setting up the gear, doing sound checks and stuff. And now that I have a
Yeah.
understanding of, best times to go to bed, best times to wake up, and where I might be, hopefully now I
Yeah.
can explore a little more.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll feel a little bit more comfortable as well too, since it'll be like your second time going over there as well.
Yeah, because I wasn't nervous or anything. Like I said, I picked it up pretty good, especially once I kind of got my groove figured out. Um, but I had to do a lot of stuff. Like I would kind of wake up a little later with the crew for the Dead Daisies and the stage crews and all that, and I'd kind of wake up around when they were getting up, get some coffee, and then be ready for load in because I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
all my drums and the cases were all just where they needed to be out of their way. And
Yeah.
because on that run, I was like the only one that really had a lot of gear.
Yeah, because
Uh,
from what I saw, I think they're all like running off campers or something like that.
yeah, they were just they were running off campers, and then all they really had was their campers, couple guitar stands, and their guitars and pedal boards, and that's really all they really had to lug around. But yeah, I had the whole drum set and this giant obnoxious hardware case that all of us hated. That thing was just heavy. Even the crew for Dead Daisies, they were like, "What? This thing is way too heavy." I'm like, "I've only got like 5 cymbal stands. Why is it so heavy?" But yeah, I got along with everybody. Yeah, it was a trip, man. That was for sure. A lot of good times, a lot of stories, a lot of stuff that I got to learn, and um, being on a big real tour bus, that was a lot of fun. That was
Yeah.
a it was a huge tour bus. There was like 14 or 15 of us on this bus. There was a lot of us. It was a double decker. That's how.
That's sick, dude. That's sick. Again, so stoked for you that you got like this gig, and I'm so stoked for you for playing on Ryan's single "Better Than You," which is out now. Everybody can go out and stream it. But I got a few things to ask as well. So have you been watching any new horror movies lately?
I actually on last week, me and my wife went to go see Sinners.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, I loved it. It had it wasn't reinventing the wheel or nothing by any means, as far as like the vampire thing.
Yeah.
It was a really good story though, and had a little bit of twists and turns, but nothing that was like turning you off like an M Night movie or nothing. And there was a cameo at the end that I was like, "Holy crap, that's so and so!" And I don't know if you've seen. I guess I could give
Uh,
away spoilers, but
You can if you want. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm just gonna wait till it comes out on digital or something like that.
yeah, it's a very like it's a kind of almost a little bit crossroads kind of the old blues crossroads kind of story a little bit, like the vampires and black culture in the early 1900s, and the vampires are kind of going in um, to the black people's kind of club that they're trying to do, and it's
Yeah.
kind of a little bit of an allegory on what was going on back then with
Yeah.
racism and stuff, and but done very well and done very thoughtful. and incorporating one of the main characters is kind of a blues guitar player, and they host a big event kind of club thing, and it's grand opening, and uh, Michael B. Jordan plays twins, which was really
Yeah.
cool because I'm a twin, and he nailed it. He did so good being a twin.
Yeah.
But the story really just kind of draws you in, makes you think while also entertaining you, which doesn't happen a lot these days, especially in the horror genre. And at the very end, um, everything happens in the early 1900s, and then it's like the early 90s, and the blues character is grown up now, and he's in his like 80s or something, and it's Buddy Guy playing. Yeah, it's
Nice.
Buddy Guy, and Buddy Guy has his own nightclub, and he's playing blues, and the vampires they didn't kill were still there. But I won't give away too much. But if anybody out there's watched this, I think they would enjoy this movie too, because it's got the best of a lot of kind of things that us musicians like. We like horror, we like blues, we like stuff that's very thought provoking but entertaining. And this movie had it all, at least for me anyway. And I highly recommend that one.
Yeah.
Trying to think what other horror movies I watched lately. I'm rewatching The X-Files, so that's been taking up a lot of my time.
Hell yeah. It's been a while since I've watched that, man. I remember watching that when I was like maybe 13, 14 years old or something, and that scared the shit out of me.
Uh, I'll be giving away my age, but I remember when it came out, when it first
Yeah.
came out, watching staying up late watching the first episode with my brother, and so like every several years I'll just go ahead and rewatch the X-Files, and then gosh, I'm trying to think what other horror movies though.
Yeah.
I should have wrote them down.
No, it's all good. I watched the Monkey a few months ago.
That's one I really want to watch too. I want to watch that
Freaking
one.
hilarious.
Is it?
Yeah, it's comedy horror.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anything that they kind of throw a little bit of comedy in with horror, I appreciate a little bit because it breaks the monotony and it distracts us from all the bull crap that's going on.
Yeah. I agree, man. It kind of reminds me a little bit like Final Destination.
Yeah. There's always that kind of little cheeky, like, yeah, this is so improbable, but hey, we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, the opening scene is pretty funny though, but you have to watch the whole movie. Like the kill scenes, especially at the end. The ending
Yeah.
is pretty funny to watch. But like,
Oh yeah.
that, and I've just been like rewatching a Conjuring series as well, getting ready for the new one to come out.
Yeah, I'm excited for the new one since it'll be rated R.
The last one, I believe.
Yeah, and hopefully being rated R means that they'll really just like throw some stuff at you. Because like I do like the Conjuring movies. They're not the scariest movies by any means.
No.
But the first one's more of a classic horror and stuff. But they're just really entertaining to watch, and it's kind of funny to see them take two real life people and kind of just turn their whole world into like a horror MCU or something.
Yeah, that is so true. Me and somebody at work were talking about this. Like, there's like a huge timeline you have to watch these movies in order. So it's sort of like watching the Avengers, like
Yeah. I think
timeline.
it's start off with the Annabelle prequel, and then you'd end up with I don't even know what the final one would be.
Probably the last
Probably.
rights will probably be the last one, I think, because I think it goes. I think it goes Annabelle, then the Conjuring, then the Nun.
Oh yeah, that's right, the
I
Nun.
think.
And then it goes into the Nun into the first Conjuring, kind of.
Yeah, I know it's weird. It's sort of like the Aliens timeline, man, because it's like so much
Yeah, it's
plus like the prequels.
all over the place and stuff. And I think we talked about it on the last podcast. I still really enjoy the last Alien movie, Alien Romulus.
Yeah, me too.
I bought I watched
I
it so
love
many
that movie.
times.
Same here, dude. I would love to do like a movie review with you on that one, eh?
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
That's something that I really like to do again at some point.
And excited for the was it the Alien series? I think it's going to be on Hulu.
Yes, Alien World.
I think that I forget what it's called, but
Yeah, I think it's Alien World or something like that.
a whole series. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for a whole series.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure it might be released on Disney Plus as well.
Yeah, I have the Disney Plus Hulu uh, um, combo. So I've been
Yeah.
watching a lot of that stuff. And then
So I found a timeline to the Conjuring too, by the way.
oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll pop it up.
Oh, there we go.
So there we go. So he sort of had. Is it up?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone,
Yeah.
so it's really small.
So yeah, so it goes Annabelle Creation, Annabelle the Nun, the Curse of the Curse of the Whisper Woman or whatever it is. Annabelle Comes Home. So Annabelle Comes Home comes before The Conjuring.
Oh, it does? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Wow.
I saw
Me
that.
either.
I thought that one was like the second, but I guess it's before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then The Conjuring, then Conjuring 2, then The Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, I remember when The Devil Made Me Do It when that one was in theaters. I can't remember if I saw it in theaters or was that still during COVID. I might have done that
Yeah.
when it premiered on, like when they did the movie premieres on streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I always thought that it was the other way around, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. It's weird how these movies are doing that these days, which it kind of keeps you engaged in it, but at the same time, it's also annoying because you don't know where you're supposed to start. Like like Star Wars when we were kids. It's episodes, turned out to be 4, 5, 6 was the first ones you saw, and then they did the prequels, and then they did the
Yeah.
sequels, and now there's the TV shows that are take place here, here, and here, and then the animated series is here, and you don't know where you're supposed to start.
Well, that timelines is all over the shop. I can't keep up with it.
Oh yeah, and now it's
So
like
here
that
we
with the
go.
MCU, and
Yes. Yeah. I can't get into those anymore, man.
it's hard, just too much to keep up.
Oh.
You
So
know, I
yeah,
think
well, here's the other timeline. Yeah, that is so true too. So what's that?
I was gonna say it's easier keeping up with the ghost timeline.
That's true too. So I'm guessing
Is
this is the other timeline that I saw. So you got the Nun, then you got Annabelle Creation, then the Nun 2. Because I was always wondering where the Nun 2 leads off.
okay, that's right. And then that goes. Well, they're supposed to do a third nun, so then who knows when that takes place?
Yeah. Then Annabelle, then The Conjuring, then Annabelle Comes Home.
Okay.
Then that movie I
Oh,
really
I forgot
enjoyed.
about that.
I really love that. Actually, I thought that was really, really good because apparently I did not know until now this was a part of the Conjuring universe.
Yeah, I forgot it was part of it. So that one would be. Well, I thought that one took place in like the 90s. or
It'll have to be in the
2000. Maybe it was
middle.
the 70s. It might be the
Maybe,
70s.
yeah. Yeah. And then the second Conjuring movie. Then The Devil Made Me Do It. I love that movie, man. That was so good.
Yeah, I thought they did good with that one, telling that true story technically, just in that their uh exaggerated way.
How true do you reckon these are?
Oh, it just depends on if Ed and Lorraine Warren were really telling the truth.
Yeah,
Because
I know.
I've
Yeah.
I've watched some things about them that seem a little iffy.
Yeah. You reckon there's like actual real footage or like that back then?
I've only seen pictures. I don't know if there's footage. They might have taken that to the grave.
Yeah. Yeah, no way. I probably, yeah, or maybe it's on maybe locked somewhere
Yeah,
and shit like that. We
I'd
don't
be
know.
interested to see some of that, or like I said, I've watched some documentaries about people talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren. Some of them are saying they were frauds, but then I've watched like on Ghost Adventures. I've watched them, and they go to some of the houses and stuff that Ed and Lorraine Warren went, and then those people say Ed and Lorraine Warren made it worse.
Yeah.
So it's a little um, hard to figure out if they were telling the truth or kind of capitalizing off of it a little bit. It's hard to
Yeah.
tell. Which
Yeah. I always trying to think that, how true and how fake um, that movie was. Because like there probably would have been like some copyright stuff that couldn't been used.
oh yeah, I would assume so. But, thinking about how some of that stuff might have been true or not. There was a movie um, that came out. I think it was last year. Um, what was it? It was Late Night with the Devil.
Oh yeah, that movie was great. I love
No,
that movie.
I thought that movie was fantastic. That was a top. I think that was a top one for me uh, for some of the more recent type of horrors because that one was just like insane. It was like pure insanity the whole time. That one
Yeah.
dude, that actor, was just really like had you believing you were watching an old show.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember watching that on Shudder when that first came out, and dude, I was blown away by it.
Yeah, I thought that's I've went back and watched that one a few times. I really enjoy that one. Um, yeah, there's one I watched recently. That was one of those like horror movies that had a little bit of comedy. But can't remember what it was. Like I said, I told myself that earlier this week. Oh, write down all the horror movies you watched, and I completely forgot.
That's so good. I'm pretty sure Late Night with the Devil, because I'm just on Wikipedia now. It was filmed in the United States and in Australia.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's rad.
Yeah. So I don't know which part was filmed in Australia though.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it seemed like it was all
Uh,
filmed in one place.
yeah, yeah. I I thought it was great. Some people said it was boring, but maybe it's just them. And
Mm,
although
yeah, I really enjoyed it, and trying to think what other horror movies are coming out. There's supposed to be something towards the end of the year.
I'm looking forward to 28 years later.
That's it. That's the 28 years. I'm looking forward to that one because
Oh
I
yeah.
remember when the first one came out, and me and my friends, if I remember, we rented it from not Blockbuster, but one of the rental movie places. And that one just was freaky because it almost redefined, the zombie thing, and that one still holds up today. Um,
Yeah.
because Zack Snyder's um, Day of the Dead, or not Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead. Um, that one's still fun to watch, but I feel like the filming style and stuff doesn't quite hold up anymore. Feels more action movie-ish. And I'm still a fan of the original Dawn of the Dead. That's still
Yeah.
one of my favorites. Um, but yeah, 28 days later, like you go back and watch that and you're still like, you're like, oh boy, is there something in the room with me?
That changed the zombie apocalypse movies to a whole new level.
Yeah, it really did. It took it from being so much because they were starting to get very gory based, and this really was like making you, like I said, you're afraid to go outside because you don't want to get attacked by zombies, which is
Yeah.
what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, even the 28 weeks later movie as well. That was friggin' amazing. I've watched that
Oh
so
yeah,
many times as well.
that's one my wife doesn't like me to watch because there's an eyeball scene and she doesn't like that.
Was that with that dude's wife? And
Yeah,
she was like, was she chained down or something like that?
yeah. He
Uh,
goes in the room and she's like chained down.
yeah.
It's been a while
And
since I watched it. But yeah.
the beginning of that movie too, when he bails on his like on that family and then like leaves them to get fucking killed. I'm like, dude, that was harsh, man. Like, come
He
on, dude.
kind of deserved his comeuppance there.
Yeah, like, and yeah, that movie was nuts, man. But 28 years later, I hope it brings it to a whole new level.
I think it will. I saw the trailer because I've been trying not to watch the trailers and stuff because
Same.
these these days the trailers just don't do any movies justice. Um,
Yeah.
but I saw the trailer in theaters when I saw Sinners, and I was like, whoa! And I read where he filmed it. They filmed it on the new iPhone instead
Oh
of
yeah,
like
right.
actual digital cameras and film to really kind of give you the feeling of like still somebody's being holding this kind of watching it, and
Yeah.
so it really made some of the shots just like feel so, because like we do so much of looking at things through our phones that this day and age you would be looking at zombies through your phone if they came after you.
I actually did not know that until you mentioned that now. Because like with phone technology these days, everybody can film anything on a phone,
Oh, I
especially
know.
like movies and like scenes and stuff like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm like 10 years behind, so
I can't keep up with that either. Even
no.
Final Destination Bloodlines, I heard it's really good.
Yeah, is that one out yet?
Yeah, it's already out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was out yet. Yeah, I haven't heard much about it yet. Um, but yeah, I'd like to see that one. I'll probably rent that one when it comes out. Um,
Yeah.
and I probably should watch them all just to do that.
Yeah.
Trying to think what other horror movies. Horror movies these days seem like they, for as hyped as they get, they still get pushed away by the big budget Disney or MCU movies and stuff, which is
Pushed
unfortunate.
away or doing reboots all the time, man.
Yeah, there's too many of those, or just the same thing we've seen before.
Yeah. This is why I like low budget horror films too, especially like the fan short films, like because it's original.
Yeah, yeah, it's somebody. Well, and that's how a lot of the old George A. Romero's and all them got started trying to do like short films and experiment with new um, stories and new thoughts and technology, and that's where I think horror really shines because when you get big budget horror, a lot of times it's just all about CGI and something in it now, or
Mm,
what big actor can you get into it?
yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's I've seen so many announcements they're going to be doing like with reboots. They're doing Cujo. They're
Yeah,
rebooting that.
seen
It's
that.
like no, I think they're going to ruin it, and it's just going to be just based on too much CGI as well,
Well, yeah, because these days you
for sure.
can't really use real dogs. And then,
Well, in the original they did.
yeah, I know the original they did, and now there's so many laws, and stuff with animals and all that. So they'll probably use a lot of CGI, and this is 2025. If someone gets locked in their car, they're just going to use their phone,
Yeah, that is so true.
and to have it just coincidentally the phone's
Yeah,
dead, like, oh
yeah,
boy,
I reckon they're going to screw that movie up.
yeah. Unless it's like
Yeah, that's so true.
Cujo's.
But like, I feel like it's going to be another. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, unless they do something weird, like it's Cujo's ghost and another dog. I don't know.
Well, from what I've read though, from like the old one that came out in 80 something, I think it was.
Yeah.
For the stunts, they were using a real person dressing up as a Saint Bernard.
Oh wow, I didn't. Oh, I might have heard that, but that's funny.
Yeah, like say every time I watch movies that I haven't seen before, I always like go on my phone and just like look it up and all these type of things. So yeah, from like some of the stunts in that movie, there was like a stunt man dressing up as a dog.
Oh wow.
That
I feel like that's still more believable than a lot of the modern CGI.
yeah, that, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah, I've been trying not to watch the trailers for that too because I'm hearing all sorts of random stuff about it. So I was just gonna wait to just stream it whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
I know Peter Dinklage is very involved in it, so I just kind of want to like not even like see other views or reviews or whatever about it because I love Peter Dinklage and I would assume he'd try to take care of a project, but these days it's just studios are so involved that even if you're a big name, you have no control.
Yeah, that's true. I think I might have seen like a spoiler clip at the theaters last time me and a mate went to the movies, or I think it was maybe on Instagram or something like that. But I don't know, man. These directors need to come up with something new and use their creativity.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's the same with music too. I feel like so many bands are just kind of repackaging
Yeah.
things we've already heard before. I feel like Led Zeppelin. But there's so many every few years. There's like a new version of Led Zeppelin that's coming out, and I won't name names. I think we all know which bands.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and not that they're not talented bands, but like I just watched the that Led Zeppelin documentary movie bio thing they did with John Paul Jones and Robert Plant and um, they and Jimmy Page. It's like they were the guys that started that sound, and they took what they heard from other bands but made it their own. And to just see so many bands
Mm.
just coming out that's just Led Zeppelin. I'm sorry, it's Led Zeppelin. It's like
Yeah,
we
maybe they're doing it because they love that era of music too. So
I think it has a lot to do with that, but I also think it has a lot to do with marketing to a new audience that really isn't aware of Led Zeppelin. And
yeah,
because there's a lot of young kids that just don't know who Led Zeppelin is. So I guess just having a band that sounds like Zeppelin, just being introduced to them, because I've heard younger kids and stuff like these new bands, but not really like Zeppelin. I'm like, it's like should be reversed. It doesn't make any sense. But that maybe that's giving my age away too, and like these damn kids.
Yeah, no, I feel you there, dude. I'm pretty much the same, as well. Like, it is what it is, I guess. But
Yeah, and I think social media plays a big part of it too. The Led
oh yeah,
Zeppelin's not around anymore, so a lot of the bands that are just trying to sound like Led Zeppelin can just bombard social media. And a lot of the older people get on social media and be like, "Oh, this young band sounds like Zeppelin," and then the young kids go, "Oh, this new band, I don't know who Led Zeppelin is." So the
yeah,
social media plays a big part on kind of um, putting a blanket over what once was, because it's like a lot of people think everything that's on social media is new, and it's not.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, the dog's here. She wants some attention.
Yeah, I'm surprised my dog's not in here.
Yeah. Want to be on the podcast? No. Okay. Once is enough for that dog. Let's finish off with top five horror villains. Who are your
Oh,
top five horror villains?
top 5 horror villains. Oh, wow, um, I think Captain Spaulding.
Pretty curveball
That's
on that
got to
one.
be Captain Spaulding, man. He and the Fireflies, like the hit. He just yeah. Rob did very good with creating that character, because he was so like you see him in House of a Thousand Corpses, and the first time you see him, he's just cracking jokes about some dude's little pecker or whatever. So you're
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe he's. You're like in the back of your mind, oh, maybe he's not really the villain, and then he just ends up being like such a mastermind ringleader who doesn't give two shits. And so I think he's definitely it's because I've seen so many people who aren't even into those movies like that character. So I think that was a very well done villain, because he is a villain even though you love him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um, oh gosh, I really gotta think through, because it's always hard to want to like a villain. Because there's like villains, and then there's the just the evil, like Michael Myers and stuff like that. They're just
Yeah.
the evil that's part of the movie, or Jason. It's not even that they're like villains, it's just like a compulsion for them. So um I guess for like Freddy Krueger, though, he is a villain. Uh Especially with the original kind of, he was a villain, and he played a villain, he wanted to be a villain. Just the way Robert played him, he from day one he played him as a villain. So and I think a lot of times, especially with modern horror, they try to give this like sappy backstory to too many villains, and it's like, let the villain be the villain.
Yeah.
We're supposed to see them as the villain, and that's what makes some of them lovable. You don't need to give them this like story we have to connect to. So like
Yeah.
definitely Freddy Krueger. He's definitely a top one.
Well, here's a little fun fact. Sorry, but Kane Hodder was asked to play Freddy Krueger.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. But then until he heard about the script, and
No.
it's just like, because they wanted somebody with real scars, and he's
Yeah.
got real burn scars from his stunt that happened years ago. But after he read that script and then said that he was a child, killer, he said, I don't know about this. And then that's how they got Robert Englund instead.
Yeah, and I think he did. Robert played just such a good villain, and knew how to take such a uncomfortable kind of backstory of killing children, and really make
Hmm.
sure that it didn't hit in like a weird taboo society kind of way, because like it's like you're killing children. That's a hard thing to think about. So yeah, I think he did a good job at that,
Yeah,
because like
yeah,
in the remake, the story they did, with what he was doing with children, because I saw that in theaters and I was just like, no, that uh, horror, at least for me, what the stuff I like in horror is escapism. That's why I like sci-fi a lot. It's to kind of see something that you don't feel like is gonna happen to you. And I think a lot today they want you to like
Yeah.
it's like they're forcing it down your throat to be like realize what's going on in society. Like they're so, and it's like, man, I'm trying to spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours not being a part of that. And
Yeah.
that's what I miss about a lot of stuff. But like Freddy Krueger movies definitely took you into a whole universe that was a little different, but still made you like scared to walk down an alleyway.
Yeah.
Um, gosh, third villain though in horror. Uh, you're making me think. Because I'm thinking about the mainstream stuff, which I said it feels more just like of an evil rather than just like somebody who's particularly the villain. Um, um, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I said, I don't even think it's like Leatherface and all them are even villains per se. Because in their minds, they're just living their life, doing their thing. I feel like a villain is aware completely of the evils they're doing.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm stuck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little stuck. You might have to throw out some horror movies and see which ones kind of get in my face a little bit, because like my villain definition might be making it hard for me.
Yeah. It's hard in the horror genre though, because you always
It,
got to
it, re-
have the final girl or whoever, you know what I mean, to be the
yeah.
hero. But like all I can think of when that comes to horror villains for me would have to be Ghostface.
Oh yeah. See, that's a good one. That's a good one because that is a villain. Because they were people that wanted to kill, knew they were going to kill, and planned on doing it because they want. And the ghost face is that's probably up there again with icon, because it launched not only the scream genre but launched that mask and what people, because I remember renting Scream when I was a kid and being like, holy crap. So yeah, that one I probably would put at number three. That's a good that's a good one there.
Yeah. Um, who else? Pennywise is another one. He's like a different version of Freddy Krueger, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think yeah, see that's also another one though that I'd have to say that makes it hard, because it's kind of implied he's an alien. So he that might just be his instinct, his creature mentality, but he is also messing with them kids a lot.
Oh yeah, I agree. That um
Oh, I was gonna say no, The Shining doesn't work either because he's almost a little more possessed. Oh, a villain that I like is in Doctor Sleep. The gal,
yes.
she I almost forgot about her. Rebecca Ferguson. When me and my wife saw that movie in theaters, because
Yeah.
in the original Shining, he's more possessed. He's coming off as a villain, but he's possessed. He's evil is just overcome him. But in Doctor Sleep, Rebecca Ferguson, the way she played that character and the character's intent, and
Yeah.
when me and my wife saw it in theaters, I was like, I hate her, but not the actress. But I hate this character, which I feel like you're supposed to do when it's a villain. And for
Yeah.
me, that I'm glad you brought up because she just nailed it in my opinion in Doctor Sleep. So yeah, for me that's a top villain. Um, so that's four. -5. um, Gosh, like I said, it's so hard because to find the villain, a villain of that's not just killing out of instinct or possession. Um,
Yeah.
you got you got me stumped, man.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of characters. Um,
I'm
but
gonna
they're
go
just
deep on this one, but I'm gonna go with Jeffrey Dahmer.
well, man, he was real though. I,
Yeah.
that was a real deal there. No, damn it. Oh, that doesn't work. I was gonna say Patrick Bateman, but even then, again, we don't even know what exactly was happening with him.
Yeah, true. True. I, gue- I guess it's just all in his head, man. I
Yeah,
guess it's like definitely a mental health issue.
you know, I'm gonna go and say because I watch almost every Halloween. I watch it. I'm gonna say the Vincent Price in um, House on Haunted Hill. He had all
Yeah.
that planned out. He wanted his wife to fall in that vat, and that's like a classic little villain. Like he had all that stuff figured out. And it's Vincent Price. He plays so many characters so well, and just every Halloween I rewatch that movie, and every time at the end you're like, "You sneaky freaking evil bastard." So I'm just gonna put him because he was so cheeky with the way he went about that at the end when and the little skeleton, the little skeleton falls in the vat, and he's got the little mechanism he made that tricked his wife into going in there. So I'm gonna say him because I always have a blast watching him be the villain because the whole movie you don't really
Yeah.
he's an asshole. Him and his wife are assholes. You don't know who killed who. You think there's ghosts, and then the dude freaking tricks his wife into falling in there. That's a villain right there. He had everybody played.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that falls into
I
my
know.
kind of favorite villains. So I kind of got the a wide range, so the Freddy Krueger and Captain Spaulding and Ghostface, Vincent Price, and who else did I say?
The chick from
Oh yeah, the chick from
Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are my picks. Those are my picks, and I'm sure next year when you ask me this, it'll be different. But those are the ones I can think right now that I enjoy.
If we ever meet, dude, I'm gonna ask you the same. Well,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, if we ever meet, I'm gonna ask you the same fucking question.
yeah, do it, and I might be like, oh crap, I don't. But I think those are good ones for my variety of what I like out of horror and stuff because it goes from classic to modern, and
Mm,
the actors who portray these characters do play a lot, I think, into how they're remembered, and
yeah.
which Ghostface has had many a different incarnations and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which
It's
I
always
need
a
to go
family
back and
member.
yeah, I need to go back and rewatch a lot of them 'cause there was a time where I started to blur Scary Movie and
And Scream.
yeah, 'cause I was a kid when all that came out, so I'd watch one and the other and be like, wait, that's not a Wayans brother, is it?
Yeah. I'll give you my top five, man, because it changes a lot. But then I would have to go with Otis from Otis from Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, Otis is definitely a top villain.
Yeah, like he's funny, but fucking scary and serious at the same time.
Oh, he is
I would
Ginger.
have to. Oh yeah, dude. I would have to put Captain Spaulding in there as well.
Oh yeah,
It's Captain Spaulding. How can you not love and hate that guy?
I know. How can you not?
Then definitely, exactly, man. He's everybody's favorite clown. Mine is Art the
Yeah.
Clown, which Art the Clown is my next one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
We
Art
still
the
don't
Clown
even
without
really
the
know
ghetto.
much about him.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I loved about these Terrifying movies, because there's no backstory.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like it when they do that a lot, because you get to see the character be the character, not whatever. We don't always have to know that.
Yeah, that is very true. So that's 3, so 2 more. Um, Definitely Leatherface is one of them. Leatherface is
Yeah.
the top. Is up there. He's the goat
He's an
of horror
icon.
villains.
He's just
Um,
iconic.
yeah, yeah, true. And number 1, I was gonna go Alice Cooper, but like,
Yeah. Alice, he's been doing horror, I think, longer than anybody now.
Yeah, I would love to have him on this podcast, dude.
Oh
Actually,
yeah, I could.
no,
That'd be
no
rad.
joke, dude. No joke, man. I actually went on his website, looked for his contacts, and then just
Oh,
like left the email and like details and list of people that I have on. I'm just gonna wait for a reply now. Anytime
yeah.
soon.
I wouldn't even know how anybody gets a hold of him, because he'll do some like odd random podcasts and Zoom interviews and stuff, and I'll be like, how did these people get him on there?
I think through his tour manager.
Yeah, probably.
I'm guessing whoever runs the web page might go to his manager, or I'm not too sure. Because like back then, when the whole world shut down due to COVID, it was a lot easier to get people on people's podcasts because
Oh,
they're doing
yeah.
nothing.
We all were at home.
Yeah. But dude, thank you very much for coming on, and we actually finally made
Yeah.
it through without no technical issues.
Yeah. 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 We finally did it, and yeah, I hope to um, come back on again at some point and talk about the next adventures. It seems like the past year or so, it's just one after the other after the other. So I'm sure there's other stuff I'll probably have to talk about.
Yeah, we'd have to do maybe an alien movie timeline ranking.
Right? Yeah, I'd love to do that. Every now and
Yeah.
then I'll just rewatch my whole box set and stuff. And now, especially with all the new, stuff like with Romulus and the TV series, and then the new Predator Badlands, I think
Oh yeah.
that's supposed to be in the same universe, because Elle Fanning plays a android or whatever with the Wayland. So they're
Yep.
trying to expand the universe too.
Yeah. They will always do that, man. Me and a mate did the Halloween movie movie ranking, sorry. And fuck, that was a long one.
Yeah, I need to rewatch all the Halloween movies, because I always just watch the original, and I do like um what was that, Season of the Witch, and that one doesn't even have him in it.
No, because that was meant to be the end of the franchise.
Yeah.
That's so underrated, that movie. When we did that, he rewatched all of, I think he had a good he told me he had a good memory, and he already had like a list of his order, and I just rewatched some of the stuff that I kind of forget because like they weren't worth watching. And but no, it was fun. And how we did it as well. Like he did his whole list and I did my whole list, and then and went for nearly 2 hours. I'm just like,
Oh geez.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun, and he's such a Halloween nerd as well. He loves horror, but like, I would love to do more of those. But you're more than welcome if you want to do like an Alien one or something, or maybe Scream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Oh, that'd be rad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that just goes hand in hand with all the stuff we're all into. So, and our viewers and
yeah,
uh, Beasto fans and Alice fans, Ryan Roxie fans, they eat that stuff up.
yeah. True, true. Well, actually, one more question though is this is something that I actually came up with like a few hours ago. Like, what do you think? Like, what makes horror movies so enjoyable to watch and unique? And like, how? Why do you think like people enjoy them so much?
Um, like I said, I think initially it was just like I said before, a little bit of escapism to take you down to something that you're not likely to really experience.
Mm,
Um, especially back in the days when like horror movies were just so outlandish of stuff you'd never, you wouldn't see a ghost and stuff, but it's always that stuff that's in the back of our mind that might be around. Um, and I think that was kind of a lot of the original kind of draw to horror movies, and then I think more so these days it's just a lot of the shock. Well, actually, more so in the '80s was definitely a lot of the shock value. You know, uh, teenagers taking their girlfriends there so they can hold them. Like, they're
yeah,
shocked, and it's just this like moment of becoming part of a world that your almost maybe primal urges that you don't even that are just so subconscious, can just explode on the screen rather than real life. And then
yeah,
I think another draw to it is um, to see things you might not have seen before. Whether it be um, a creature that you haven't seen before, or a, a thought process in the filming you've never seen before. Because a lot of the things that I watch in horror movies is how did they do that? How did they film that? How did they? I never would have thought to create this creature like this, or like in the movie um, A Quiet Place. I never,
yeah.
I don't think I've really ever seen those type of creatures before, or at least that kind of premise and stuff. So that's always a draw of like what is some sort of thing that we haven't seen before or heard before, and it's also the mystery. It's the same reason we all love mystery novels and mystery TV shows. The problem solving. What's going to solve this dilemma?
Yeah, yeah. It's a huge fan base, man. I think it's like very underrated, just like
It
metal music,
is.
really.
It really is. It's become, like I said before, like horror's become such a eh, platform now for social commentary that I feel like it's losing a little bit of what um, made it good in the first place. Because like we get enough social commentary scrolling through our phones, and we get enough of it walking out in public. And like I said, with the movie Sinners, they did a good job at incorporating the social commentary while giving you a very good story of not reinventing the wheel, but really giving you a story for horror. Um, and that's something that I think is probably going to be the future of horror. It's like finding that middle ground in the modern
Yeah,
era. But like, I don't need to watch horror and be smacked in the face of what's going on in my country or what's going on, and politics and stuff, man. Because I want to enjoy, the real horror is out there. It's just outside the
it's
door.
everywhere.
It's
Yeah,
everywhere. So give me Vincent Price holding some skeletons, man. It's like I miss that.
yeah, yeah. No, it's a horror. It's a genre that we all love growing up watching as a kid, and it's continued to grow. You just gotta search for it, man.
It's storytelling, and that's what good storytelling. Good storytelling is what makes us want to go back for more music, horror, theater, everything.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Well, guys, Trent, thank you very much. So, guys,
thank you for
don't
having
forget
me.
no worries, to stream Ryan Roxie's new single featuring Trent on drums. All over Spotify, YouTube, wherever. Look at that mugshot, man. Look at that mugshot.
That's killer.
Yeah, and you got up and coming tour dates with Beasto Blanco coming up soon, which I'll pop up now. There you go. Starting from November.
I think they're gonna start offering the VIP packages at some point here soon. So yeah, definitely got to look at the website and stay updated on the social media. There's some marketing stuff that Beasto has planned. So yeah, just stay tuned to that. And then, like I said, there's more coming from Ryan Roxie here soon. And yeah, just watch my Instagram and all my stuff. I try to keep up on a lot of that. So
yeah, same. But again, too busy. You know how it is, man. That. Yeah, dude. I would love to do an Alice Cooper collaboration with you, man.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think of other Alice stuff I'd like to do.
Men of the Year is fun. Like I know that song too, especially the leads as well. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I got the gear.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you ain't hiding that one anywhere.
No, where'd it go?
Yeah, dude. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate you, as always.
Thank you, man.
And also being such a cool dude.
Thanks.
And thank you for
you
your
too,
awesome
man.
friendship, dude. Hope we can meet in person.
Yeah, so. I'm hoping so. Hope so. 2026. Let's
Yeah, let's make it happen. Well, I'll put all the description, all the info in the description area later on. But guys, don't forget to follow Trent on all social media. Stream the new Ryan Roxie single. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, and all that crazy stuff. And see you guys all next time, guys. Peace out. And boom. Yeah, we made it through.